Tencent themselves have shut down every single Wuwa hater around the world with a confirmation of exactly how many players are playing the game daily and how much money the game has made in the entirety of 2025. And let me tell you, the active concurrent and active daily players and the amount of money that they made are more than anyone ever predicted or projected. It is also significantly, substantially more than that fake-ass gotcha revenue website would lead you to believe. Now let's go ahead and take a look at all of it. Is she eating ice cream? She just picked that cherry off the ice cream. Yo, Surtur, girl, you're already top-tier waifu. What are you doing? What are you doing to us, man? Okay, so Tencent actually revealed something big. Incredibly big, like groundbreakingly big. This here is definitive proof after over an entire year of existing online, a year and a half, I think, because the game released back in May 2024. Good news for Wuthering Waves. This is going to shut down any misinformation, any disinformation, any hate whatsoever for Wuthering Waves and whether or not it's doing well or doing poorly. At the very least, there's been 550 plus million US dollars in annual revenue from Tencent's 2025 annual meeting report. To elaborate, just for anyone that isn't an English speaker or anyone that wants to contest this, annual revenue is the total income a business generates from sales of its product or services, plus other sources like investments over a 12-month period. So over 12 months, this is over an entire year. What this means is that this is going to be for the year of 2025. This is not factoring in 2024, where the game released in May and then had roughly 6 months of existing or 7 months of existing online. This also doesn't factor in January 2026. So over that 12-month period, in 2025, according to Tencent's own annual meeting report, the game made a minimum of 550 million US dollars. Now let's look a little deeper into this. Apparently, they've locked the thread over on the Wuthering Waves subreddit. They were right to invest in Wuthering Waves. Let's see what was said. Here is the official proof of it. We're going to open that in a new tab. We're actually going to save this. Google Translate image. What we're going to do here now is we're going to translate the actual image, and then we're going to read what the Reddit thread says. We're going to detect language and then change it to English. Tencent's annual meeting regarding the gaming business, Ma Huateng gave it extremely high praise, just like last year, calling it frighteningly strong. Liu Qiping then provided a more detailed analysis of the company's gaming business performance last year. While the global gaming market grew by only 3%, Tencent games grew by 23% in total, which is an enormous number, by the way, chat. That is some incredible growth, outperforming the market by over 20 percentage points. This success was largely attributed to several long-running titles, including Honor of Kings, and they're making Honor of Kings World, by the way, which they sponsored me for, to go all the way to Gamescom for. Peacekeeper Elite, Delta Force, Naruto, League of Legends, Crossfire Mobile, Ming Chao, which is Wuthering Waves, and Valorant, both PC and mobile versions, all of which saw significant growth in user activity and revenue last year. Can you guys see that? Do you guys see that? All of which saw not only significant growth, Wuthering Waves significant growth, but also significantly more revenue as well. Wuthering Waves, significant growth, increased revenue. Dead game, right? Game end of servicing. Oh no, is doing terrible. Oh wow, is the whole fucking community. Ha ha! In your freaking face. Everyone that says the game is doing terribly, I mean, evidence to the contrary. Liu Qiping also mentioned that last year, international market business contributed 30% of the game business revenue, with total revenue exceeding $10 billion. Supercell's games DAU showed a multi-fold growth trend with products such as Path of Exile 2, The Tide, Warframe, PUBG, and Call of Duty Mobile playing an important role in expanding overseas markets. Looking at Ma Huateng's speeches in recent years, we can clearly see a trend. Tencent's gaming business has seen significant growth and is increasingly moving towards its strategic goals of longevity and globalization. Now let's see what the Reddit thread here says. Wuthering Waves is officially classified as an evergreen game title by Tencent. This requires at least $550 million in yearly revenue and daily active users above 5 million players for mobile or 2 million players for PC. So they have millions, several million, potentially tens of millions of active players. Millions. Wuthering Waves was also cited as a major contributor for Tencent's international growth. And the reason for that is because Wuthering Waves is doing phenomenally all around the world. Then they translated the game or the article in Gemini. They listed the games that were the foundation of their growth, the driving factor and force behind their growth in 2025. I mean, that's impressive. 550 million. Let's go to the gacha revenue. So what this is 550 million minimum is what we're seeing here, right? Hold on. Tencent Evergreen game. Wait, what is this? Yeah. So back 5 months ago, according to Tencent Senior Vice President, Wuthering Waves is one of the 6 new games that crossed their Evergreen game revenue line. So let's see what that actually means. Okay, it actually states it on their website right here. Corporate overview. So it states here, which y'all could see. Here, I'll zoom in. Evergreen Games portfolio includes domestic and international games. Evergreen games refer to games surpassing average quarterly daily active users of 5 million for mobile or 2 million for PC, meaning there is a minimum of 5 to 7 million people playing daily, chat. Daily. There are several million minimum people playing daily for Wuthering Waves. And not only do they have to cross that milestone, they also need over 4 billion RMB. That equates to 574 million US dollars in a year. That is the minimum they are making. A minimum of almost $600 million. That's what they made 5 months ago. 5 months ago, they made almost $600 million. You know how much that means they've made now? Almost half a year later? 700 million? 800 million? 900 million? That is insane. Okay, now let's navigate on over to the gacha revenue website, right? Because we'll be able to actually see now how accurate this really is. Yo, I don't mean to interrupt the video, but I need to take a moment here to thank all my incredible patrons over on Patreon whose support continues to allow for me to do regular videos like this every single day on this channel. Thank y'all so much, including our YouTube channel members. You guys mean the world to me. So do you guys as viewers as well. Now, without further ado, let's continue. Let's see. For the, we can only count 2025, all right? So January, we're just gonna round up here, okay, chat? We're gonna round up or down to make it the easiest for us. January, 30 million. February, 15 million. What's that? 45 million. March, 20 million. So it's 65 million. April, 20 million. 85 million. May, 25 million. That's 110 million. June, 40 million. It's 150 million. We're halfway through the year. Chat, we are halfway through the year on the gacha revenue website, and it says they made 150 million. 150. They stated right here that halfway through the year, they had made 570 million. Minimum. 150 reported on the gacha revenue website, almost 600 million in reality. Yet people look at this and they say, this is legitimate, this is real, this is fact. The reality is, if this is tracking, right? Wait, sorry, we have to factor in 7 months because this says 5 months ago. So this was 7 months worth of revenue. 165 million. So if this is tracking $165 million on mobile, and they're claiming 575 million bare minimum, there is a $400 million discrepancy between what the gacha revenue website is reporting and what is the actual reality. They count mobile only? Yes. This counts mobile only, which means if there is in fact a $400 million discrepancy between what is being reported on the gacha revenue website and what is the actual reality here, according to Tencent themselves, via their what is this? Their annual 2025 annual meeting report, where they need to publicly disclose revenue or statistics, or in this instance, the fact that the game has now crossed into their Evergreen game revenue line. Between these two, which do you believe? There is one objective truth here, chat. As we noted when we were discussing Arknights Enfield earlier today, there is one objective truth, and that is that Tencent themselves confirmed that in 7 months, they crossed a minimum of 5 million active daily players, and that they had crossed, after 7 months, almost $600 million in total revenue. In the remaining 5 months of the year, they probably made it close enough to, or potentially even surpassing, $1 billion for the entire year of 2025. And 3.0 is likely going to be even more popular than 2.0. This is an insane number. Anyone that argues that Wuthering Waves is not doing good now, anyone that sits there and says Genshin Impact or Zenless Zone Zero or Arknights Enfield or Nikkei or Honkai Star Rail or Blue Archive or any upcoming gacha game is makes Wuthering Waves look unsuccessful, dead, or that Wuthering Waves look dead or insignificant, or that Wuthering Waves is approaching an end of service. If anyone tries to convince you that this game is not doing phenomenally, then they're talking out their asses, because that is a blatant lie and blatant mis and disinformation. Wuthering Waves has done incredibly, but this is why you do not trust this website. Every month at the beginning of the month, or every month at the beginning of the month, they release the statistics for revenue, and people are like, "Heard there, this game isn't doing very well." And you know what? On the contrary, the game is doing insanely well. They're only going up from here, chat. That's why I love this game. I do. I genuinely do. It's one of my favorite gacha games in the world, and I'm going to continue covering it until either they mess up, or it's no longer fun, or whatever else, which I don't foresee happening, at least not anytime soon. The game has gotten too big and too popular. Let's see. I think people don't know exactly what Evergreen title in a place like Tencent means. Just for the record, Tencent is the largest game developer publisher company in the world, not just China, not global, all combined. Then here you are, one of the top games in such a massive company. I don't have good faith with Tencent, nor do I like their marketing policies, but I can't deny the fact that they're an industry-leading company. And congrats to Kudo for this massive win. Exactly. Yep, there you go. And some people are gonna try to spin this as a loss. They're gonna be like, well, you can't trust this, is a lot, blah blah blah. Oh well, sucks for them, chat. Wuthering Waves is one of the best gacha games right now. It is one of my all-time favorite gacha games, and they are continuing to absolutely dominate, man. I feel like a proud papa. You know what I mean? I've been promoting Wuwa since day one of their announcement, their freaking announcement, chat. And people told me it's just a Genshin clone. People told me it's not going to be successful. People told me it was going to do terribly. People told me it was going to end of service. I was like, nah, you just watch. Y'all just watch how big Wuthering Waves becomes. And look at it now. One of the biggest gacha games in the world. One of the most lucrative gacha games in the world. Very few games at this juncture can even come close to competing with it. It is now a titan of the industry. Again, that is an insane number, genuinely mind-blowingly large, and there is such a stark discrepancy between what is reported and what the reality actually is, which is why at the end of the day, you don't trust websites like that. You can use them as a means with which to track metrics, inclines or declines, but at the end of the day, either they're really grotesquely inaccurate, or a very large number of people play it on PC, and these are highly underreported. Either way, this is just another Wuthering Waves win. I know you think that you just hit the end of the video, and technically, yeah, you have. And I know your first reaction is to close out of it at this juncture, but don't. No, instead, I urge you to take a moment here and click one of the videos on screen that are coming up in just a moment, so you remain up to date with everything going on in the gacha genre. Trust me, you're not going to regret doing so. stay flaccid.